Well, good evening and welcome to our regular meeting for February. Kind of a more sparse crowd than was here last week. We're glad to have you with us. We'd like to begin each meeting with a moment of silence and would invite you to join us if you care to. Thank you. First, come on in, Miss Sloan, have a seat. First on the agenda is approval of tonight's agenda, 17th of February, regular meetings. Our motion, well, without objection, we will approve the minutes for February 17th. Minutes for February 17th are approved, or the agenda, I'm sorry. Pledge of Allegiance, if you would join us, I will lead us in the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment, Ms. Gibson, anyone sign up? Okay. Approval of minutes for the January 13th work session and January 21st regular board meeting. Anyone see any corrections needing to be made? And without objection, we will approve the minutes for January 13th and January 21st. Next, discussion items, bond resolution. Ms. Moore.
Okay, Ms. Gibson is pulling up my first page of the resolution that gives us the authority to issue $15,750,000 of general obligation bonds. This is our annual sale that will help us continue with our capital improvements plan, finish up the construction on the Career Center, and then what other things that we determine need to be a part of that plan for the next year or so.
What is their projection for interest rates? Have they gone up significantly?
We haven't even talked about it
Yeah.
yet. I've seen a few things that may be a little bit higher.
Probably be a little higher, but. Any questions on bond resolution?
And the overwhelming majority of this will go to the Career Center.
Yes, it will.
The new Career Center will be completing the payments on that.
And we'll take action on that next item on the agenda. Transportation update. Mr. Ozzie Ryan, our Transportation Director. Welcome.
As you know, bus drivers have a shortage all over the district. In many districts, and this district is no exception, but I'd like to just report that we started off the school year with 12 full-time drivers short and 5 substitute drivers short. And as of this week, if everybody comes back tomorrow, I can say that. And Wahalla was hit the hardest. They had 7 down, Seneca was 3 down, and West Oak 2 down. And so as of tomorrow, on West Oak, we have one that's coming back this week off medical leave. We're just going to hire one this week. So they will be full with bus drivers and substitute drivers. Wahalla, they are full staff with drivers, and they are 1 short with substitute drivers. And then Seneca is full with drivers, and they're 1 short with substitute drivers. We had a class 3 weeks ago with 8 people participated. All passed the class portion of it. We just went through the pass the CDL and the bus driver, and then we can hire 2 more as full-time substitute drivers, and then everybody be full in the district. And I'm hoping to hire 2 more substitute drivers just in case when it's a full-time sub can't come. And Mr. Hammond was gracious to let me hire a substitute bus monitor last week, because we have 12 special needs drivers and all of them have a bus monitor. But if somebody's missing, then somebody be doing that busing. I've done it before and don't mind doing it, but when you drive a special needs bus, you got to be on it until the end. So we was gracious to be able to hire one. So that's a good thing too. I'm grateful. I think this is my third year here, and we've never been fully staffed, so this is a good opportunity.
A lot of districts can't say that, Ozzie. That's great. That's great.
So we were 12 full-time drivers down and 5 substitute
Right.
down.
We
And
try
now
to
we're
have-
looking at just 2 subs, so
Right.
you've
We
got
try to have,
15 new people.
5, 6 substitute. Westo had one, and so right now, we're looking pretty good. You know, if everybody comes back this week.
I want to commend Mr. Wright and Lisa at his office, and then his area supervisors. A lot of times the area supervisors are driving, and so we've
And that was
got,
my goal, to just get them to stop driving so much. I know Miss Deborah in Walhalla, she probably drove just about every day for the first 3 months of school. Maurice probably drove just about every day. And so my goal was try to hire enough drivers so they wouldn't have to drive. And so, you know, a lot of prayer and a lot of bus classes, we're getting there. So, you know,
That's great.
it's a blessing to be fully staffed. So.
That's great.
yeah, if they're driving, they can't answer the phone and do the things that they need to do, so it puts the onus on Ozzie and Lisa Harbin down at his office to try to have all the phone calls and that, and you know, it's like a lot of our professions, you don't hear anything about the buses until something goes wrong.
Yep.
You know, and our folks do a really nice job with the buses, and we appreciate them getting our kids to and from school, and Ozzie, like he said, he's in his 3rd year, and he's doing a great job for us, and we're excited to have him in that role.
That's
We wanted to
great.
get him up here and
You know, just
give y'all some good news.
say a word about location of his office next year, what'll happen.
Yeah, currently, our bus transportation office is in one of the portables down at maintenance, and when we make the transition and we repurpose the current career center, then Ozzie's going to move over into the area that Richard and those occupy now in the maintenance building,
Yeah.
give them more room, have a conference room there where they can have meetings with their bus drivers and do classes and that. We'll get a little bit closer out of the portable business and clean that place up a little bit down there, and we'll continue to work on that. And I don't know if y'all, I know you know, but we'll just remind you, every 9 weeks we have a bus incentive for perfect attendance, so that's helped our program too. It's $50 that our drivers get if they have perfect attendance for the 9 weeks. If you don't get the first 9 weeks, you can still get it the second, so it starts over. So you, just because you miss a day the first week of school, that knock you out for the whole year. So we have a lot. We average probably 60% of our drivers each 9 weeks that get that $50 check, and they appreciate that, but we appreciate them. You know, sometimes they don't feel well, and they're still coming in to get it, because getting the subs and different people on different routes, or if we ever have to double up on routes, it makes life hard. So.
And I can say that drivers have been really supportive, because even when they're sick, they come and drive a bus because they know we're short. So it's good to get fully staffed and some substitute drivers, so when someone is sick, they can take off and get healthy. So.
And they were there the last couple times when we've had the weather stuff. They've been able to quickly mobilize and get his people on site and get our kids home safely. So we're thankful for our
That's
bus
the main
drivers
thing.
and Ozzie's leadership with our bus and transportation department. So,
That's
any
good.
questions for him?
Yes, anything from,
Ozzie, is there any direction from the state on having seat belts in the buses?
They talk about that, but the thing about that, Lord forbid, but if you have
Yeah.
a wreck,
Right.
you know, getting those kids out of those seatbelts. There's some talk about it, but not a whole lot of talk about it.
Okay, good. Yeah, there was something on the news a few days ago, and there was a lot of activity in the bus as it rolled, and I was just thinking of that.
If you have a rollover accident, the distance between the seat and the roof of a bus is pretty significant. Kids can actually be trapped upside down in a seat belt.
Basically hanging from their seat, hanging from their seat belt.
There's some argument, I mean, there's certainly situations where a seatbelt will be safer, but there are bus accident situations where a seatbelt could make it
More
more
detrimental.
dangerous.
especially for your younger, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost like it needs to be like a 5-point hitch or whatever those.
You know, they have those harness on the special need buses
Oh, do they have those?
for the smaller kids.
Okay, I did not know that.
We also have some that even ride in car seats that they have to hook in there and that. So for the younger, the 3-year-old program and some of that, so.
Some of the newer buses, they have the built-in car seats for the smaller kids.
Oh, okay, good.
Know that?
We might need to see a bus every so often.
Hey, we can use a sub-monitor if you're interested. We can get you signed up in HR before you leave today.
Got a job.
Have another sub-monitor. There you go.
We'll take it.
The other thing I wanted to say was every time Mr. Hanby talked about school busing, we always had vacancies. I like hearing your reports better because you're giving us a more accurate 100%, so we appreciate you.
We've been fortunate to have some classes and be able to hire some drivers, and that's, I'm happy to report that tonight.
That's good, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Mr. Isaac.
Yes, sir.
All right, go pull him through. He's going to the playoff basketball games.
I don't blame him.
Pull him through.
Okay, next on the action items is approval of the bond resolution. Ms. Moore just reviewed. Any other questions for her? Could I get a motion to approve the bond resolution in the amount of $15,750,000, wasn't it?
I'll make the motion that we approve the bond sale not to exceed $15,750,000.
I'll second that.
Motion second to approve the sale. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? And it is unanimous. Thank you. And that completes the open portion of our meeting. Very short and sweet tonight. We do have an executive session for personnel items, employment recommendations and changes, and we will return to take any action required of the closed section shortly. And without objection, we will move into executive session. Thank you very much.